Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately, it seems like every single day we have new companies laying off staff. If you have a look at the companies that have cut back on their staff just in the last couple of months, you will see big names, big household names that you've definitely heard of before. Companies like GM, companies like Turo, other companies like Google, Microsoft, Block, so many big brands are cutting their headcounts, often by large numbers. If you have a look at the exact figures, in March of 2025, more than 88,000 employees were laid off, February 16,000, and January 2,400. You can see the trend is obviously accelerating. Things are becoming more and more difficult. And one company which is now cutting staff is Google. Google layoffs are set to impact hundreds in the Pixel Android division. After voluntary exits in January, Google said it's going to have laid off hundreds of employees in the division responsible for Android, Chrome, Pixel, and more. This is according to the information on Thursday evening, with Google confirming the job reductions in a statement to the public, basically saying that it's focused on becoming more nimble and operating more efficiently. How many times do we hear that, guys, right? All of these brands are looking to operate more efficiently, become more equipped. In reality, the demand for these jobs just isn't there. And perhaps these companies aren't doing as well as they'd like us to think. There are no specifics yet on whether any of the teams were particularly hard hit. In terms of impact, it's unlikely that end users will notice any changes from the move, with major offerings and efforts remaining in place. The Platforms and Devices division encompasses everything from Android and all of the accessories to Chrome and Chrome OS, as well as Google Photos, Google One, Search and Maps are in separate groups, whilst Gemini in Google DeepMind and Workspace are somewhere else. There's so many different factors of this, right? But basically, these are the divisions being impacted, all of these different sectors. And again, let's not focus on the corporate impact per se. Let's focus on the actual people who are being laid off here, right? Hundreds of employees losing their jobs. It really is a difficult time to be navigating this jobs market. And I do feel bad for anybody who is in this industry, but this is a reality of where we are right now. So in announcing a buyout program earlier this year, Google wanted to address criticism of previous layoffs and how it did not give people the option to leave in advance. More broadly, speed and efficiency was stated as a goal, with that being the general company-wide mandate as of late. And again, that's completely correct, right? This is exactly how it is being worded. Speed and efficiency. It's all about speed and efficiency. In reality, though, this is hundreds of jobs being lost. And this is just a market at the minute. Unfortunately, Google is not alone in cutting these positions. If we wait for this page to refresh, I'm going to show you guys all the companies that have been cutting back on staff recently. And you'll see Google's not alone. Just this month we've seen Microsoft impact 2,000 people. We've seen so many big brands. Just look at all of these numbers here. And this isn't the first time that Google's done something like this, of course. If we look back over the last couple of years, and this is where it starts to add up, because we might see these numbers of, a couple of people here, a couple of hundred people here. Obviously, it's terrible for those who it impacts, and we've already addressed that, but we can still say, it might not seem that large. I want you guys to have a look at the more broad impact over the last couple of years. Google has been undergoing layoffs as part of a broader company restructuring and, to be honest, cost-cutting effort. For example, in early 2023, Google's parent company Alphabet planned to cut 12,000 jobs globally, about 6% of its workforce. And there's been subsequent layoffs impacting various departments, as we have just discussed. It's part of a restructuring plan. Again, over the past couple of years, numerous departments have been affected. So you can see all the numbers here. You can see just a few examples of layoffs. And this is going to be hurting a lot of people. But this is the reality of the jobs market right now. Companies aren't hiring, companies are firing workers in massive rates. And again, just look at the data here. The amount of people impacted by these layoffs is huge. So far, in 2025, there have been 253 layoffs at tech companies, with 50,000 people impacted. That's around 451 jobs per day if you average it out in 2024. And again, it's kind of crazy how this trend has continued. Again, that's the 2024 data, which shows even more people being impacted, right? 2025, 253 companies, 50,000 employees. 2024, 1,115 with and 38,000 people impacted. This is just the reality of today's jobs market, guys. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think to this. Thank you for watching. I hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye for now.